Welcome back. This is the last example in section 8.2. This is dealing with partial sums. So when we say find the 150th partial sum, this basically means that n equals 150. Okay, so the number of the term is 150. We don't know what that term is. We don't know what the number is. But if we look at this sequence that they've already given us, n is actually equal to 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. And this just keeps going until we get to n equals 150, and we don't know what that is. Okay? And so we need to add up from 5 plus 16 plus 27 plus 38 through the 150th term in this sequence. Well, the problem is we don't know what they all are. We'd have to figure each one of them out, then add them, and so we can shortcut this. We learned that formula the other day that talked about the sum of the terms is the number of terms divided by 2, and then you multiply that by a sub 1 plus a sub n. Well, if we actually look at what this formula means, it means we're taking that sequence, we're folding it in half on itself, so we're going to add the first term and the last term together, and as we go down the line, we're going to have half the number of terms, but all of the totals are the same. And because this is an arithmetic sequence, we can use this formula. Well, okay, so if the number of terms is 150, put that over 2, and a sub 1, we know it's 5. And so we have to add a sub n, which in this case is the 150th term. It's not 150. It's the 150th term. So we have to figure out a way to get the 150th term. Well, how do we do that? Well, we did this already. We talked about the formula for it, and if you recall it, if you don't, here it is. A sub n equals the common difference times n plus some constant. If we figure out this formula, we can just plug in 150 for n and then get the 150th term. So let's go. We got to find the common difference. So we're going to look at how do I get to the next term. So 5 to 16, 16 to 27. So it looks to me like it's plus 11. And that seems to work all the way down. And so my common difference is 11. So I'm going to fill that in. And I've got 11 here times n plus c. So as we look at this, what do I need to fill in to be able to find this constant? Well, I got to fill in a term. So I'm going to pick this one. And so a sub n is 5. That's my term. That's what it equals. And my term number is 1. And so 11 plus c equals 5. So if I subtract 11 from both sides, negative 6 equals c. Well, that means that if I take all this information together, a sub n equals 11n minus 6. Okay, so 11n minus 6. Well, how do I use that? Remember, keep in mind, what am I trying to find? I'm trying to find the 150th term. And so all I need to do is plug in 150 for n. So my 150th term, and actually I'm going to go ahead and denote that. So a sub 150, which is what I'm trying to find over here, check it out, is equal to 11 times 150 minus 6. Plug that into the old calc. We get 1650 minus 6 equals 1644. So this is the 150th term. Notice, the 150th term is not 150. The 150th term is 1644. So if I plug that into my formula over here, I've got 150 over 2 times 5 plus 1644 is my sum. And so that's 75 times 1649, which gives me 123,675. Okay, that's how you do it. So that's going to be like numbers 54 through 60 on your homework. Let's look at one other quick example that's going to help you with this homework assignment. For example, in the next section, the 62 through 68, I'm going to actually look at number 61, and 61 looks like this. It gives us this sigma, so the summation notation of 50, n equals 1, and then n. So let's say they gave us something like this, and actually I got to move this down here. Okay, so let's say they gave us something like this. Now, you could put this into your calculator, that's fine, but really this means the same thing as a partial sum. It is it's add the first 50 terms of a sub n equals n, because this tells me what a sub n is. And so if I use the same exact formula, n over 2 times a sub 1 plus a sub n, I just have to figure out what exactly to plug in. And so what's my number of terms? Well, it's 1 to 50. So how many terms would that be? That'd be 50 over 2, so 25 terms. My first term would be I plug in, so a sub 1 is equal to n, so n is 1, so it'd be 1 plus, and then if my 50th term, I just put 50 in for n, plus 50, so I'd have 25 times 51, which would give me 1275. Okay, so that's the answer to that question. That's exactly how you roll on one like that. We can use the same formula. Your calculator will also do it, but it's really the same partial sum concept. All right, that's all there is to it, guys. Hope that helps you on your homework tonight.